Ever relaunched your website and watched your rankings vanish overnight? Or maybe you're staring at a nosediving traffic graph, realizing that it all began the day that you switched platforms. It sounds like you had a bad migration, and you're not alone. When we say migration, we don't just mean a technical move. It could be switching web hosts, redesigning or rebranding your website, moving to a new CMS like WordPress or Shopify, or even changing your domain name. If you've ever changed your website in one way or another, then that's a migration. And if your migration isn't handled carefully, search engines can lose track of your pages, links, and authority overnight. Stick with us and we'll walk you through how to avoid those pitfalls or recover if things go sideways. Hi again. In our last video we taught you how to create 301 redirects which fix broken links on your website, and this is about to come in very useful because today we're diving into that dreaded word, migrations. Whether you're redesigning, moving to a new platform, changing domain names, or just tinkering under the hood, a migration is one of the most SEO critical events your site will ever face. New clients often reach out to us when they spot their traffic is tanking. We check the timeline and it usually lines up with when a new website redesign or switching platforms happened. They didn't do a proper migration. Now, it's common to see traffic dips when steps are missed, but don't panic. By the end of this video, you're going to have a clear action plan and even a free PDF checklist to guide you through every step of the way. We've also got some recovery tips if you've already migrated and things aren't looking so good. All of this is a lot easier than you think. Before you break out into a cold sweat, let's just make sure the traffic really is gone and it's not just a tracking glitch. After migrations, popular tracking tags like Adobe Analytics, GA4, or even your Search Console settings can get left behind. This makes it look like your traffic's plummeted when in fact you've got a healthy stream of visitors, but they're just not being recorded. So if you're using GA4, then check the real-time report and try navigating your website. Do your own visits show up? If not, then GA4 tags might not be present or firing. Alternatively, use a browser plugin like Ghostery or Tag Assistant to audit all the tracking and marketing tags on your site. Next, log into Search Console and confirm your property still includes the correct domain or URL prefix. It could be something as simple as your old website having www in the domain and your new website doesn't. You just need to let Search Console know. Now, we covered adding a new Search Console property in a previous episode, so we recommend watching that for full instructions. It takes just a few minutes to fix missing tracking and a few hours for those numbers to refresh, so always check first before moving on to redirects, sitemaps, or performance reports. It's tempting to treat a migration like a design refresh, but there is a lot more at stake. Migrations with knock-on effects can include the following. There might be theme tweaks. You swap out the site's look but keep the URLs and content the same, but that new code can still affect things like load times or hidden metadata. You could switch CMS platforms. Moving from something like Squarespace to WordPress often changes the entire URL structure, which means all of the SEO equity associated with those pages can vanish if it's not handled correctly. There are also content overhauls, reorganizing pages for a new business direction, merging with another company, or deleting old content can break backlinks and internal links. Search engines treat those pages as completely new, essentially resetting the SEO equity from scratch. Every change you make has SEO consequences. Lost link equity, broken internal links, mismatched URLs, disappearing content, and missing metadata. If SEO wasn't baked into your planning from day one, you've already set yourself up for headaches. Think of a migration as an SEO critical event, not just a design task. Picture this, your staging site accidentally goes live and placeholder content starts showing up on Google. We see this a lot. Suddenly there are two versions of your brand available to the public, and one of them is still a work in progress. Google might not know which one is the correct version and send traffic to the preview version instead. To avoid that nightmare, audit your staging environment first, to double check that it isn't being indexed by Google or Bing. Next, you'll need a comprehensive list of URLs from both your old and new sites. This will be your roadmap for redirects, something which we covered in full detail in our previous video. You can download them from Google Search Console, indexing performance reports, XML sitemaps, Google Analytics, along with web crawlers like Screaming Frog or Sitebulb. Now, you don't need to use all of these sources depending on the complexity of your site, but it really helps to get the clearest possible picture. Remember, the devil is in the detail when it comes to migration, so try not to miss anything from your old website. Now, it would take a whole episode explaining how to export those lists of pages from each tool, then merge them into a single spreadsheet. But instead, we've put them in one handy free cheat sheet, which is available to download at wearegenessee.com/show, and we'll be updating that when things change and as new tools come out. One tip, save all this legacy data in case you need it in 6 months' time. You'll need to do the same process for your new staging site after everything is complete. Now you're going to need a redirection map, full stop. You need to create a side-by-side spreadsheet mapping the old URL to its new counterpart. For example, you might have to map out your About the Company URL to the new About Us URL, or map your old shop URL to the new store URLs. Without proper redirects, Google and users both end up on 404 error pages, and you lose your hard-earned SEO equity. If you've got lots of those URLs and don't know where to start, it's worth putting that spreadsheet in some kind of priority order. You could start by working through the highest impressions first in Search Console, or the top revenue generating pages from Google Analytics. These priority pages should be redirected first, and if you have any control over those URLs, keeping the file name conventions consistent with the old and new sites really helps. Don't go creating a new page called Contact Us when you already have one called Contact, unless you have a really compelling reason. Remember, consistency helps preserve rankings. At the end of this process, you should have a full spreadsheet with all your old URLs and their new locations. We're going to call this a migration redirection map. You'll need to share that document with your stakeholders and developers to review. If you're setting up your own redirects, then watch our previous video on 404s and broken links. You'll know exactly what to do from there. Now, if any of this seems overwhelming, drop us an email at show@wearegenessee.com, because no challenge for us is too small. If you've already gone live without any of this in place, then it's not too late. Start retroactively mapping the URLs and putting in 301s as soon as possible. Even a late redirect map is better than none. The longer you leave this, the more search engines are going to crawl your site and discover that pages are missing. And the longer they encounter broken links, the more your rankings will decay. Remember, you're going to need a full list of URLs from the older version of your site before you migrate. If you haven't got that list, try pulling the data in from Search Console, performance reports, and analytics reports prior to the migration date. Rebuilding Google's trust can take weeks or even months, but this checklist will get you back on track. Here are some common tips and tricks for migration. First, move metadata accurately. Page titles, H1s, and meta descriptions should all be carried over or updated thoughtfully. Random rewrites can often confuse search engines. Also, avoid irrelevant targets. Redirecting your Sales 2022 page to your home page might seem convenient for you, but it dilutes relevance and it really doesn't help users. So maybe redirect it to something like a sales history page. You're going to want to avoid redirect chains. So don't link A to B to C to D. Instead, redirect A to the final D. One final note, servers are case sensitive. They treat upper and lower case differently. On the day before you hit publish, run through this checklist. Confirm that all 301 redirects are live on your server. Generate and upload your new XML sitemap. We did a whole episode on that previously. Update robots.txt with the correct disallow and allow rules. Make sure the new site can be seen by search engines. Test Search Console and any other analytics tags. Make sure that that data is actually flowing. Run a full crawler with a tool like Screaming Frog or Sitebulb to catch any missing redirects or no index tags. If you're switching domains entirely, go to the Change of Address tool in the settings in Google Search Console, select your old and new domains and just follow the prompts. And once you're live, go to the Search Console, head to Sitemaps, enter your new sitemap URL and click Submit. Google isn't psychic. You're going to have to give it your new map unless it's got the same URL as the old one. For the next 2 weeks, you're going to need to check your 404 report every day. In Search Console's coverage report, filter for 404 errors and address them immediately. This isn't a one-time task. Keep an eye on new dead links. Also, compare before and after performances as well. Use Search Console and any analytics tools you have access to review branded and non-branded traffic. Look for things like total clicks, click-through rates and average position. Also, refer to your bounce and conversion rates on your top priority pages. Look for any unexpected drops, page by page if you have to. This tells you exactly where you need to focus. If you skipped an earlier migration step and launched without redirects or updated tracking, this process suddenly becomes your repaired dashboard. Look for high-performing pages that have dropped sharply or even disappeared. These are often your missing redirects or misconfigured tags. Use that insight to prioritize recovery. You now have the steps to plan, launch, and recover no matter what. Head to wearegenessee.com/show to grab our free migration checklist, which includes links to other useful tools along with all our other episodes. But if you're not comfortable with the time-consuming mapping of hundreds or thousands of pages for your migration or any other technical aspects, then please do get in touch. Our team lives and breathes migrations. No problem is too big or too small. Email show@wearegenessee.com and let us shoulder your heavy lifting. If post-migration traffic has plunged more than 50% or you're losing branded traffic, then something serious has happened, so definitely get in touch. If this video has helped explain migrations, then click like, subscribe and drop us a comment. We read all of them. Next up, we'll dive into performance reports in Search Console to help you spot trends and uncover opportunities like a pro. Remember, we're here to make sure when people search, they find your business and choose your business. We'll see you in the next video.